works. Let's get rid of that and get rid of this wonderful album artwork. Hello, everybody. I am joined with the wonderful Dustin Skinnendor.
Hello.
Hello. Over here on this side is Nico Mendoza. And down below
How's it going?
And down below is Vron Media. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. And sorry, I apologize in advance. This is my first time doing anything like this. And my MacBook is struggling to run OBS and Discord simultaneously right now. So we'll see how it does when we start playing music. But yeah, so welcome to the album release party of my new album, or album release party of not really much of a party, but we're all here having a good time. Of Bottled Memories. This is the wonderful album artwork. I'm just going to cover Vron and Nico and my face for a little bit.
I'm here.
Dustin stays unscathed. But that's the wonderful artwork that my wonderful girlfriend, Becca Hohenstein, made. And she might join us later tonight. It depends. She is a little bit busy. And unfortunately, none of the vocalists could make it either. So all the instrumentalists could make it, but none of the three vocalists I had on this album could not make it at all. But that's okay. We will just make do without them, because who needs the vocalists, right, everybody? Yes. Anyway. So, Nico and Vron, of course, feel free to jump in whenever you want. Hey, thank you for joining, and I'm glad you're still awake. The one time you're still awake, something fun happens. I'm glad you think this is fun. I really appreciate that. I have comments. I don't know how to get comments up on the screen, so it's all YouTube comments. So just go to the YouTube page if you want to see the comments. Ray Musique. That's beautiful. But yeah, like I was saying before, Vron, Nico, feel free to jump in, and Dustin for that matter. Feel free to jump in whenever you want if you have anything to add, I guess. But we're just going to kind of go through, I guess, the entire album. And unfortunately, you all did not play on every tune. But you played on most of them. Played on a good handful of them. But the first one we're going to do, we're just going to go in order. So, Bottled Memories, first of all, is an album of 7 years in the making, basically. I started composing this music back in college in 2016, I think. And not with the idea of making an album like this, per se, but just started writing music in this kind of electro pop rock style for the marimba. And it just kind of kept going, and then I guess the VGM stuff kind of took over, and that's how I met these two wonderful people, Vron and Nico. I met Dustin in high school, so not as wonderful. But the VGM community kind of started taking off, and then my music started getting even more inspired from video game music. So it's just been kind of a long process to get all this music to where it is now. So it's Bottled Memories comes from all of these memories from the past that have since been bottled up and now being shared with the world, I guess, like a bottle in like what they did in the olden days, you know, with the message in a bottle, sort of, yeah. And the album artwork, which I'll pop up one more time, showcases that, right? It's the marimba in the bottle's in the ocean, and it's traveling to share its story with the world. And the lightning is because this is electronic music. And yes, so that's that. Fun story, right?
Yeah.
So yes, very fun. Okay, so the first piece on the album is called Shadow Dance, and this was written back in 2016, one of the early ones. And it's literally just a fun, dancey tune. So enjoy Shadow Dance, and hopefully this works. It's thinking about it. It's really thinking about it. Come on, game. Or come on, computer. Come on, game. So I think my computer...
You know we're gamers when you're like, come on, game.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Apple Music is just being a piece of garbage right now, too. Come on. Well, if it doesn't work on Apple Music, I'll just play it here. So... let us... Oh, my God. I'm getting the Wheel of Death now. I'm getting the Wheel of Death. Here, if I do it like this, can you all hear it? Sorry, everybody. I don't hear anything. And now Apple Music doesn't want to work. All right. Well, talk amongst yourselves. While I'm trying to reboot this, I will talk about the instrumentalists who helped me out here. Yay. Yeah, so I forgot when I approached you all about this. I think it was last summer or last spring, maybe a year ago.
Sounds right.
And I actually paid them all, which was a big step in in music. Yeah, big step. Hi, Gio. How you doing?
Not just experience either.
Yeah, good. Sorry, my computer is really struggling with this. So here, why don't I just say, let's forget this. Let me do it this way. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna turn this on.
Are you gonna play the files locally?
Yeah, I have the. Ooh. All right, I don't know if that was coming through properly. Was that coming through?
I heard a little bit of it. I don't know if that was just your speakers playing back.
Might have just been the speakers
I don't think I
playing
heard
back.
it directly. No.
All right, well, Apple Music finally decided to reboot itself, so let's try one more time. This did work in my test run, but apparently now this is... Whoa! Hello, everybody. But like I said, my computer just does not want to run Discord and OBS simultaneously. Oh my God.
Hey, it's up.
Okay, it's up. Let's see if this works. Anyway, yeah, so while I'm still trying to get this to work, I approached all of them about a year ago about this, and they all said yes, it was great, and they all did re-records when I need them to do re-records, and we'll talk about that when we get to those songs. But the first one, Shadow Dance now, hopefully it'll play, is just a marimba solo with electronic backing track. So let's see. Okay. Hold on, it's still not coming through the proper place. Come on, sorry everybody. I don't know why it's not wanting to work. And now my computer is gonna crap out again. There we go. Sorry, everybody. Seriously, like, I really hate it when technology does not want to do what it should be doing. Okay, let's try this now. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, man.
That was Electrified Rosewood. And I want to just once again thank all the musicians here.
I love that.
Thank you, Nico. I appreciate that. I love you. I love you. Yeah. Again, that was one of the first ones I wrote. And it's kind of funny how even though that was early music, early Matt Silverberg music, I still really like it because not all my early stuff I like. Do you have early stuff that you all still like? Or do you look back and no?
I like some.
Yes and no. It's a mixed bag. I think it's like you always end up being like the new improved version of yourself, right?
Yeah.
But it's still you. Like I was thinking when I was listening to this again, this is very Matt Silverberg sound. It's like the heavy electronic stuff over marimba, because like with marimba, right? You almost associate with being like more soft, somber music, right? But you like have this really hard, like pumping, like electric sounds over the marimba, and it's like two like very different sounds, but like you blend them together anyway. And I was like, you don't hear that kind of stuff very often, so I love that kind of thing.
Thanks.
Matt, I had a question about how you programmed a lot of that stuff. Do you manually play that in like to a metronome, or are you like sequencing that like note for note and you're kind of producing like slow go with the electronic stuff? Because I know you for your marimba playing, but the electronic stuff's pretty interesting too.
Well, thanks. I do things I think a little bit different than what most people do, at least in the VGM community. I actually notate everything. Everything's in Finale. And then and then export the MIDI
But
file.
you put it. Yeah.
Go ahead, Viron.
Oh, nice, cool.
I was gonna say, is that what you do? You described my exact question perfectly answered.
Yeah, that's what I do for everything.
When you import it, do you change the generic drum sounds?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you go through and change any of the cymbals to like less velocity, harder hits, stuff like that?
Not often, no. I do change dynamics and I do change drum sounds.
Totally fair.
Yeah, I do change dynamics and drum sounds. I think sometimes with the kick drum I do actually. Now that you ask it, I do make the kick drum heavier in some tunes, yeah. But most often
so
not.
You're using like a traditional drum set staff for the drums,
Yep.
for instance? Is that what you're doing?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, that might be the music
I love
school.
it. I used to do that in my early Berkeley days too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm glad you said that because I feel like that's the music school person in me who notates everything. Right? I don't know if you feel the same way. But yeah, everything's notated, then export the MIDI file. Yeah, put the MIDI file into Logic, and then mess around, figure things out. Sometimes change things, not all the time, sometimes. But yeah, cool. Okay. We have two more, and then we get to the track all these people are on. So this next one is the classic love song. This one has lyrics that I wrote. I wrote all the lyrics, so if you don't like them, it was my first try. I'm sorry. But this one is called Peony in the Sunlight, and it has my friend Aaron Reynolds singing, because I can't sing that well. I do have a video of me singing this. I think it's a private video on YouTube. All of these songs that have vocals, I did originally write them so that I could sing and play the marimba simultaneously. But then after listening to myself sing more and more, I'm just like, nah, this sounds like shit. Like I can't do this. I can't sing that well. So I hired some friends to sing for me. And this one, Peony in the Sunlight, is a love song written for my current girlfriend, Becca. A peony is her favorite flower. I know it's really kind of gross. I'm not really a sappy kind of person, and hopefully she never sees this. I'm not really a sappy kind of person about when it comes to like relationships and love and that kind of stuff. But the peony is her favorite flower, and this is just a song about how she's pretty and I like her. That's pretty much it. So, and just full disclosure, I had to mark this song as explicit because it has the word shit in it. So if that bothers you, just be careful. All right, and here is Peony in the Sunlight.
I didn't know what I was looking for till we got together and had fun. You were a ray of sunshine for me, and hopefully felt the same. From what I hear, we've both been through some shit, but we're still giving each other a chance, and you seem true, so I thank you. Your beauty makes me smile like a peony in the sunlight, vivid, charming, eye-catching, in the garden all year round, with me when it's sub-zero. So even when you're gone, it's like you're right here with me. Peony in the sunlight, peony in the sunlight. You who are so very alluring, I didn't know that you would be assuring. You helped me believe that there was some good out there. Your sass only made me fall for you, not to mention that you're also pretty smart. You have a big heart, and when we depart, I can't stop thinking of your beauty. Like a peony in the sunlight, vivid, charming, eye-catching, in the garden all year round, with me when it's sub-zero. So even when you're gone, it's like you're right here with me. Peony in the sunlight, peony in the sunlight. You make me feel warm. I thought I felt this way before, but then I met you, and you're beautiful. Like a peony in the sunlight, vivid, charming, eye-catching, in the garden all year round, with me when it's sub-zero. So even when you're gone, it's like you're right here with me. Peony in the sunlight, peony in the sunlight.
Forgetting to stop. One of these days I'll remember to stop the next one from playing. Thanks, Nico. I just saw your comment. I was going to comment, but then the song was about to end, so I didn't. Thanks. A good story, right? Thank you. Yeah, and this one, of course, no electronics, so very different from the first two, right? So the first two were like, here we go. And this one's like, oh my God, very different. It's also the first time I really had to work with vocalists. I did a little bit with the Skyrim theme, which Nico was a part of. Vron was not in that, I don't think. I can't remember. But Nico and Dustin were both on that one. And there were vocals in that one, but I didn't know what I was doing. This entire album was, it was difficult with the vocals, and not because the vocalists are bad. They're all great. It was just difficult to edit vocals because I am not great at mixing. But yeah, so that was Peony in the Sunlight.
Right. I will say a couple things that I did really like was that you had, you were explaining how you said the idea was you'd sing and play the marimba at the same time. I think it was interesting how you melodically wrote all the notes in the melody to just be in between the notes in the marimba, so the marimba would accompany both lower and higher than where the melody's sitting. And I think the mix, also the way you pan the mics for the marimba is really, really cool, because both things really stick out without covering each other, because I think it's really easy to muddy up the two when they're both in that like low mid range. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thank you.
Pretty cool.
I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. And this is why you're a better musician than I am, because you can hear all that stuff that I don't even hear. No, I'm just I'm just kidding. I can't hear that stuff. But
it was all subconscious.
Yes. No, it's funny that you said the vocals being in the middle of the marimba. And that's another reason why I can't sing it, because I couldn't find the pitches to sing without me playing the actual notes. So, yeah. Cool. One more of just me, and then finally all the cool people that you're actually here to listen to come in. Oh, and a funny thing about that one, I have this album listed as electronic and rock as the genres, and obviously that one totally isn't either of those, but I don't, it's just what it is. I'm not going to give every single song its individual genre, but it is what it is. Okay, now, I should have also mentioned that this album, it's not like a Taylor Swift album or like Dark Side of the Moon, like Pink Floyd, like the whole storyline, right? It's not that. The Wall, yeah. It's not that, but there are definitely chapters in this. So, for instance, the first two, Shadow Dance and Electrified Rosewood, those are just cool feel-good tunes, right? The next three, or four even maybe, are sort of like the whole relationship side of things. So Peony in the Sunlight is obviously a love song, whatever. And then the next one, Inner Soliloquy, is sort of like thinking about things like, is this what I really want? This has nothing to do with my relationship with my current girlfriend. Just saying right now. Just saying it right now. But it's just like things that I felt in the past, but it told a better story going this way in the album. So like the next three-ish are 3-4-ish are all kind of that story. So, and this was actually unintentional when I wrote all the music, but I'm going to play the end of Peony in the Sunlight going into Inner Soliloquy, and how I want to point this out because I thought it was really cool, super unintentional. The ending of Peony in the Sunlight and the beginning of Inner Soliloquy have the exact same motion. They're in different keys, but they have the exact same like chordal motion, do 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 do, but a very different feel. Again, unintentional, but I'm like, oh shit, I'm a genius. That was so cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the end of Peony in the Sunlight, going into the next song, piece, Inner Soliloquy.
Peony in the sunlight.
and I think that's what it's cool that you have no lyrics on that one, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, it's like it's like no lyrics, and then also like, is this when I started it? Is this really what I envisioned this to be? No, and then it's like as the piece progressed, it's like, okay, I'm kind of getting a feeling from this. Let's make it like this, and then that's what happened. Yeah, music is fun that way. Okay, clap, yes, clap. Thank you, Nico. Okay, this next one. This is honestly one of my favorite album, if not my favorite. I don't want to pick favorites. All these children are my favorite children. All 11 of them are my favorites. Like Whistle on the Window, I really like this one a lot. It kind of, yeah, it's really cool. So this, I'll let you all talk because this is the first one you all actually liked, right? So open up to all of you innocent, but a little backstory on this because I don't think I ever told any of you what this piece was actually about. So I was in a very unhealthy relationship a number of years back, pre-COVID, and like basically the things she was doing were borderline abusive, if not abusive. Like she was pretty abusive towards me. So yes, it can happen to men too, believe it or not. Like it wasn't physically, but emotionally abusive. And this song was inspired from her horribleness. And also, I was up in Duluth playing with the symphony. And it was a very blustery, cold March day that we get in Minnesota. It was a blizzard. It was, I think it might have been below zero, huge winds. And I was in my hotel room, and I heard the wind whistling on the window constantly. And this is where the title of that song came from. Was from that cold blizzard wind blowing on the window, and how a cold-hearted person is bad, basically. I kind of messed up that last phrase. Basically, cold heart, wind, cold bad. Okay, that's basically what it is. And again, I was gonna sing this, as with all the songs, but I can't sing. And but luckily, my friend Becca can. So I got Becca, you all might know her as Flutiful with 3 O's, and she sang. And then Dustin played guitars. He's got a rockin' guitar solo on this one. Nico played bass. His bass tone is like first attempt he gave me his bass tracks, and it's like, yes, this is literally exactly what I wanted from this. It was sounding great. And Viron's drums also absolutely wonderful, just exactly what I needed. Yeah, so like if any of you have anything you want to say about this, the process we all had, feel free to take away. Are we really?
You can go first, Nico, if you want.
I'd say let's play the song first.
You want to play the song first? Yeah. Okay, we'll play the song first. And while we're listening to the song, if you all want to tap in the chat what you're all drinking, we got to bring a drink for these things, yeah? All right, here is Whistle on the Window featuring Becca Michelson and the rest of the... I hate this. The marimba mat band. That sounds so pretentious. I hate that. Not trademarks. All right, here we go.
heavy. The cold charm is cruel. The persistence makes me a prisoner in my sanguine sanctuary. The outburst outside starts manipulating my mind. Its selfishness is self-sustaining as I try to break away. So on the
Quick question, Matt. Was that also Becca whistling? Oh, nice. Ah, beautiful. Yeah, I can go first. So I just like how dark the E minor to E flat thing kind of goes back and forth, like because it sounds mostly like more like minor like pop tonality, right? You have like the C major, like the flat six, flat seven, but then you have that E flat, and it just like sticks out just that much just to give it that like tension. Like it just almost feels like you can tell like it's even darker than you thought it was, or it's like like that hint of that. And just looking back at like me recording this, I remember hearing that and going like, oh wow, this like it's out of place like very tastefully, if that makes sense. But yeah, I really like that.
Um, yeah, this this drum part kind of came together in an interesting. You approached me about possibly doing some of it electronically and some of it on real drums, like
Right,
doing toms and cymbals, but then electric, snare, and bass. And I tried recording them separately. I tried getting like not a DTX pad, but something very similar. It's called a cat pad. I tried that too. I didn't really like it, and Matt didn't like it either. So I decided to just try it all on drum set, even though it was written as a multi-percussion part. And I don't know if you've watched the video, Matt, but I had the strangest stickings possible, but I made it work, and I like how it sounds the best for sure on the real drums and cymbals, of course.
Yeah, real drums and cymbals. Yeah, I totally forgot about that, V-Ron. I totally forgot that we were going to do the electronic stuff. And no, I have not watched the video yet. I'm going to at some point. It's just been a lot of projects going on. but yeah, I forgot about that. That's a great thing. I'm glad you're here to say that, because yeah, this one went
You're
through a
good.
lot.
Just watch the sticking on the floor, Tom. It's really funny.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, I use a double stick like on a dill across the. It's so weird.
Nice. See, that's why you're a professional. You can do that kind of stuff. Cool. Dustin, have any?
Yeah, I was very grateful to get our solo on one of these. It was the hard part of it was doing that part because mentioned before, the E flats, because the E flats are they can be tough on guitar depending on how you do them. And it took a lot of re-records to get that E flat arpeggio clean, but I got it, I think. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Good.
Also, Becca sounded great. Everyone sounded
Yeah, no open strings for you.
Yes, and Becca sounded great. Yeah, Becca and I.
Because Becca's voice sounds fantastic.
Yeah, Becca and I had a lot
Oh, yeah.
of talking about this one because, like, she sent me, I think, 3 or 4 takes of this because she hated how she sounded on the first previous ones before we got the one that she liked, and it was just a lot of editing it, like add a certain amount of reverb or vocal effects to make it fit the rest of the ensemble more. Again, a lot on me because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Like, it was my first time doing vocal mixing, like, for real. So it was a learning experience for me, and I think she sounds great. But yeah, we went through a lot of trial and error, Becca and I. A lot of her saying, I don't like how I sound, and me saying, I don't know how to make sound better. And then I figured it out. But yeah, she sounds absolutely wonderful. I'm so glad I picked her to sing this because she loves singing low, and the E to E flat part that we keep talking about, that's like pure alto range. Like, I forgot. I think she's like actually a low E below C. I think is where she's singing down there. I can't remember off the top of my head, but she's singing low. She's singing real low down there.
Yeah, that's low.
Yeah. She loves that. She loves all the spooky stuff. She loves spooky music, so she was very happy to sing that. And yes, Dustin's guitar sounded great.
Nice.
And,
I'm gonna nod like I know what you're talking about. Because... That's right.
Okay. Sweet. We'll go on next one. Next track is called White Lies. And this is sort of like chapter 4 of the whole relationship arc of this. Kind of sort of white lies, as I'm sure you all know, white lie, people who lie, like, can tell a lie that for no reason, basically. That's not the diction definition. This one kind of goes into, like, the whole, people and they can lie to you. It's not that deep. It's the name, it's a title, so, but I like this one. It's cool. I released one as a single, actually, before, but let's play this. Wise.
I
I was
like
gonna say real
the
quick. Go
go
ahead.
go. Okay, sure. I like the chromaticism happening. It's almost like you could tell someone's like not quite being honest with you. Like it's like the flowing thing, and then something's not quite right, and then something's going, and then it's not quite right, and it's like, is this person being genuine with me, right? And that's kind of how I've always interpreted that little like line right there.
It sounds so smart compared to what I was gonna say. I just like the hemiola. Like the ba 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 ba. I just like that part a lot.
Oh, happy early birthday.
Hey.
Those drum set nuances that I wrote in there. So let's listen